Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Monday, March 25th, 2019. My name's Jeremy, and this right here is my first cup of coffee. Good stuff. All right. Well, what a good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend, a great weekend. I will tell you about my weekend and my Friday. So, what was Friday? Friday was some client meetings as we start to shift back into consulting more. Um, yeah, this move, this realization that whistlekick is not ready to support me. Initially, it was really hard, difficult, painful. Um, Felt a bit poorly about myself. But as I've wrapped my brain around it, I realized it's okay. Uh, because it's not a failure, because I haven't given up. It's not even a pivot, because the business isn't doing anything differently. It's just I'm approaching the business a little differently. And that's natural. That's life. So I met with some new clients, and that was great. I love meeting people, love talking about how I can help them. Friday night, the final CrossFit open workout, which means starting next Friday night will involve martial arts again, which I'm looking forward to. Typically that'll be Kempo, but in the case of this coming Friday, it's Master Terry Dow's Martial Arts Symposium, where I will spend a weekend with a whole bunch of people who've been on the show, including Terry and Bill Wallace and Dr. Tim Hartman and Christine Bennett Rodriguez and Michael DePasquale and let's see who else, Paul Milholland and who else we got? Chris LaCava, bunch of people, Danny Dring, Rob Buckland, all my friends. And if you're anywhere near New England, or if you're willing to hop on a plane, you really should come. It's a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And if you do come, please tell them I sent you. Because, I don't know. I don't know if it's money or bragging rights, but something comes out of it. So tell people I sent you. Saturday there was a competition in Rutland, Vermont, hosted by my friend and member of Team Whistlekick, Matt Naronsky. So I was there. The team was there. Team did great. Again, saw a bunch more friends. It's kind of a pattern here. You stay in martial arts long enough, and you get to be friends with all these wonderful people, and it keeps you going to events. That was Saturday night. Social stuff, friends. And then yesterday, Sunday, was work in a bunch of different ways. Then I went to the gym and went to the grocery store. So nothing too spectacular there. Of course, there are some questions that I can answer. Questions that were written in. If you would like to ask me a question, the best way to ask me a question is leave it comment on the bottom of one of these episodes here on YouTube. And the first question I'm going to ask. I could ask you questions, but I'm not going to do that. First question I'm going to answer is about Cobra Kai Season 2. And am I going to be watching Cobra Kai Season 2? And the answer is, heck, yes, I am. Cobra Kai Season 1 knocked it out of the park, and I'm super stoked for Season 2. Of course, we are losing Into the Badlands. Actually, I think the premiere of Season 4 was last night. I didn't watch because I don't have AMC anymore. So I got to figure out how I'm going to watch that. We've got a new show coming on Premium TV in May. A new show from HBO. How much of that am I supposed to talk about? I don't know. There's a new show coming. I know things, but I'm under an embargo. I can't talk about really any of it. Okay. Scott's helping me. Warrior on Cinemax. Yes, that is the show. um, I've got a question coming in. I'll answer in a moment. So, oh, hold on. Rah. Okay, so here's why I'm going to watch Cobra Kai and XRO5 Charu. I'll answer your questions in just a moment, and thank you for the love. Martial arts is part of culture. It's part of our culture as martial artists. It's part of popular culture, and we need to support it. If you go way, way back before Into the Badlands was out, before we were all, not me, hating Danny Rand and Iron Fist, I talked about how important it was that we support these shows because we don't get martial arts shows terribly often. I don't know why Badlands is being canceled, but my suspicion is viewership. I mean, right? It tends to be a financial decision. So I suspect not enough people are watching. We got to get some people watching. Not enough people watched, and thus we're losing the show. So I'm going to watch Cobra Kai. And you know what? Even if I only thought it was okay, I would watch Cobra Kai. Why? Because I want shows like Cobra Kai to continue. I want martial arts on TV. I want it in the movies. I want this content. And so I'm voting with my time and my money to make sure that these shows happen. It's important to me. And I hope that it's important to you out there. If you love martial arts, we need to show the world that martial arts content is something we're willing to invest in. Just like if you go to the grocery store and you buy organic lettuce, they're going to bring in more organic lettuce. If you don't, they're not going to bother, and then you're going to want it one day for a salad, and it's not going to be there. It's economics, it's business, and it's important that we show the world what matters to us as martial artists, as people. If you're new to this show, you might not know that we've interviewed 3 people from Into the Badlands. Daniel Wu, Emily Beecham, and Sherman Augustus. But you can check out those shows at Martial Arts Radio. There we go. So, question here: will you ever have a student or martial arts student on the show? I assume you mean Martial Arts Radio, just to get their perspective on martial arts from a non-teacher perspective. Actually, a lot of the people who've been on the show have not been instructors. And by a lot, I mean, you know, a bunch, not a ton, because honestly, most people who stick around martial arts for a while and continue in martial arts end up with their own school. I tend to be a bit of an anomaly in that, you know, I've been training forever and don't have a school. That's because whistlekick is my school. But there are people out there. Pardon me. Check out the show and let's see. Early episodes. Yeah, there are people. My brain's not fully awake. Early on, Liza and Eddie aren't school owners. I mean, they're in the first 10. I have a hard time remembering who was in what episode, so I could sit down with a list and go through and tell you this person doesn't have a school, this person doesn't have a school. But yeah, you're welcome. Check it out. We don't call special attention to that, and it's interesting that you bring that up because you're right. There is a different perspective when you're teaching people and you're not, and pretty much anybody that's ever spent time as a martial arts instructor or school owner knows what it's like to be on the other side of that line, and it's very educational. It can be stressful. It can be very rewarding. It's important. It's important that people keep doing that. If somebody's not teaching it, there's nobody to learn it from. So, yeah. Actually, a recent guest, Master Bratinda Ahuja, I don't believe has a school, and he talks about traveling and becoming a student at each of the new places that he was living in. You can check that episode out. That was last week. So, that gives you some things. Now, if we go back to that bit about Into the Badlands and supporting things that are important to you, obviously that extends far beyond martial arts television or movies or whatever. It's all of life. If something's important to you, you got to let people know. You have to do more than just use words. Words are cheap. You've got to show with your time, with your money, what matters to you. Or rather, I don't say you have to, you do. I found myself saying, over the last couple of years, people that complain about not having enough time, remind them, you have the same 24 hours everyone else does. Your time, how you spend your time reflects your priorities. I should probably put that on the quote list for the book. There's a book coming. So to say that something's important and then never put the time or the money after it, it's not important to you. It may be something you want to exist, but the other things that you've got going on are more important. And it doesn't mean that that's wrong. But you have to accept that that's the reality. If you choose, I'm not even going to give examples, because when I give examples, that's when people get butthurt. I'm not gonna do that. Recognize your priorities. Recognize how you spend your time and money. And take a step back from that and check, does this reflect what's in my heart? What I really want to exist and be important and matter? If it doesn't, time to change it. Okay. We do this show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. And of course, you can catch it later on your podcast feeds, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere, or firstcupwithjeremy.com. It's Monday. There is a new martial arts radio episode out. I'll let you check that out. whistlekickmartialartsradio.com, or again, right here on YouTube or in your podcast feed. If you want to ask me a question for First Cup, best thing to do is to post it below on YouTube right here. And if you're listening rather than watching, you can go ahead and email me those questions, jeremy@whistlekick.com. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, etc. Nice to meet you too, Herman.